idea.
Always right there. I think we're live. Let's see.
Oh, it says live.
Yep, we're live. Thank
Yeah.
you, E. Jean. You are so gracious to do this with me, and I'm such you're a hero. I mean, you're everybody's hero. You, I'm I don't know. I'm speechless. I have so much I want to ask you and talk to you about. Um,
Well, while you're speechless, I have attained human communication here. I just want to say, Liza, that for 40 years, you have, with your wit and extraordinary drawing ability, you have put the world into perspective. Okay, that's what you do, but you do it with humor. And
so do you.
Well,
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, there's one quote in your book, which I adore your book, and I also I read it, and I also listened to it on audio, which I recommend everybody do because back and forth, because you are so funny. You're the way you use the words, the way the pacing. I mean, obviously you know what you're doing. You're such a master humorist. Your choice of words, and you know, Alina Hava Esquire, not just Ms. Hava, it was Alina Hava Esquire. It's like wonderful, the humor. And you said in your book at the end, and I love this, "This is your town, Donald Trump, and I beat the shit out of you."
Ooh, I beat him bad. I beat him twice.
I know. And then just the other day, you got another announcement. Oh, the confetti came down. How did you do that?
I made a victory sign.
Oh, okay.
So yes, and we had another a couple of days ago. We had another. He must be exhausted from losing. He must just be so tired from losing because he just lost again. If in the second trial, he was asking on the 83.3 million, he was asking the government to step in and pay his legal bills and have you, Liza Donnelly, pay for his lawsuit, the taxpayers. And the Second Circuit said, oh, no. So he just smashed down. So we're getting to the point. We're getting to the point where he's going to finally lose. And then, he's lost. He's lost both trials. He's completely lost. He's just wasting everybody's time by appealing to unanimous jury convictions. So he's almost at the end of those. And it's going to be luscious. That is, Liza, if we still have a banking system.
We still have
6 months.
I mean, that's
in
not
6 months. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think we're going to have a banking system in 6 months?
I think that's not going to go.
Okay.
First. I haven't really thought about the banking system. I've been thinking about, everything you're thinking about, immigration and Epstein and taking over cities. So, and I'm thinking about the midterms. I worry about there not being midterms, but Heather Cox Richardson just said recently there will be elections, just whether or not we can stop them from rigging them. So
wait a minute, yes, and we don't even know if we stop them from the 2024s from rigging them. We're not quite sure about that.
Right.
But if Heather Cox, your new best friend, because I love the Substack that you two did. If she says there's going to be midterms, then I think there will probably be midterms.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about you. I want to talk about you. So how are you doing? Are you happy there in the country? I love your cabin.
Thank you. I am fabulous. I am. It's a great summer. I love it up here in the country in my hovel. I love being old. Don't you sort of love being an older woman and you know a lot?
I do, and I wanted to talk to you about that because you mentioned, you talk about that in your book, of course.
Yeah.
And you talk about how at 75, you first took him to trial, which you did not win. Is that correct? And then you took him to trial close to 80, and when you're close to 80, and there was something about being older and what? Talk to me about that.
Well, when it happened, the event happened in Bergdorf. I was a young lady of 52.
Right.
And it was so shocking and horrible to me. I never thought I'd ever mention it again.
Mm-hmm.
Never, 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 never. And many women of my age know exactly what I'm talking about, because
Right.
we've all had something, and we usually decide not talking about it, moving
Mm-hmm.
on.
Mm-hmm.
And then Weinstein happened.
Mm-hmm.
And the great Jody Cantner and Megan Twohey splashed that headline on the New York Times, across it, and had witnesses. And then women started coming forward. Remember that? Remember that those days? It was just the feeling of at last. And women rose up around the country and said their stories. And I said, well, God damn it. I'm such a hypocrite. I've been advising. I had that advice column, Ask Eugene. I was telling women to come forward and to go to the police. I was advising them, but not me. You know, I was such a hypocrite. And I said, that's it. I'm not going to be a silent person any longer. I'm just going to shoot off my mouth. And that, I didn't even think about doing it. I just did it. Boom.
Really? How many weeks or days did you think about it?
I was on a road trip when I did it. I made the list of the men. I made a hideous men list,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I read that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Trump was always in the back of my mind. And I didn't put him on the list until about 4 weeks later. And you can see it in my notebook. There he is. And then when I wrote it all in one sitting. I was amazed, because I'm a particular persnickety writer. It takes me time to write a paragraph. This just flowed out. It had been sitting there for like 26 years in my brain, and boom, out it came. So that was painless.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I would pay a price. I had no idea. No idea. Well, you have a good idea. You were in the courtroom.
Right.
So there was a price. Anybody who has to face Joe Tacopina knows there's a price. But I'm glad I did.
But perhaps you also had, in that Me Too time, you had the feeling of support from many corners of our culture, right? Not of course, not all, but.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a swarm of support, but that's what's needed, because when the president of the United States speaks out for 3 straight days from the White House and calls, he called me a liar 26 times in 3 days. I know, 26 times. So I just said no. And then I met Robbie Kaplan. George Conway introduced me. And when I met, she's like, have you met Robbie? You've met her, right?
I've drawn her. I'll show you the pictures of her after we talk.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So we've got to get together. I want to get you guys together. I met her, and she's one of the great legal minds of her generation. Mm-hmm. And that was it. Yeah. And as we see, everybody's bending the knee now. Everybody's terrified. Entire cities are bending the knee to him now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. To find an attorney who's willing to stand up to Donald Trump, the president of the United States, that was great.
I mean, you had a fantastic legal team, and I remember in your book you talked about how you enjoyed enjoy is maybe too strong a word, but in a way enjoyed the legal system, and I did too. When I was sitting in the courtroom, I came to watch. I heard about your trial. You and I had met. Yeah. At a Substack event, actually.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great night. I remember that clearly.
Thank you. I remember meeting you too. And I of course was aware of you in the 80s, being a woman, professional woman in the 80s in New York City. We were all aware of Donald Trump, and I was aware of you and your work. Anyway, where's it going? So I decided that I heard about this trial, and I decided I could see if I can go down there and draw it, because I do live drawing. I've never done a trial before, but I thought I got to do this trial. So I went down there, not knowing if I'd get in, and lo and behold, I just was able to go in. They didn't ask me anything. I had to, check everything at the door.
Yeah.
But I was pressed, so they let me in.
It was fabulous. Seeing your face there. Well, and you did see how my legal team, 2 of the members of my legal team fell in love.
Oh, how sweet. Who? Which 2? I don't remember their names.
And they're Sean G. Crowley and the Duke of Ferrara fell in love. Fell in love. And if you look at the last page of the book, that is the consequence of falling in love. Lisa's looking it up, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, looking at it now. I didn't look at the. Oh, is that picture?
Oh,
here we go.
There he is. Cal Crowley. Yep, there he is.
Anyway, the process and your legal team were ingenious, and the way you describe it in the book also helps the reader understand exactly what happened and how it happened and how amazing they were and what blunders Tacopina and the Trump people made. Lena Haba Esquire. And I love the way you talk about her, Trump's lawyer, Lena Haba Esquire, who's been in the news recently. You talk about her with really nice comments in the way she dresses and the way she's intelligent. She may not know how to do a trial, but she's very smart. Anyway, I love the way you paint a picture that is understandable with humor.
Thank you. But did you draw Lena Haba Esquire? Because I want to see your drawing of Lena Haba.
I'd have to look and see.
I know you did Tacopina. I know you've done Tacopina. And I know you've done Alina.
I must have done her. I think I drew everybody.
And we've got to get your book published because, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Donnelly has an entire book here of live drawing. Yeah. Look. And comments.
Bring the iPads in or any electronic devices. So I was forced to work on paper, which was actually lovely.
Hey, can I ask, is your hair color? I asked you this at the party, I think. Is your hair color natural, or who does your streaks?
Oh, no. It was once this color.
That's good.
Thank you. I'll give you his name.
Who does your hair highlights?
Named Dennis in Hell's Kitchen. I would love to introduce you. He's amazing.
In New York, though, not up here.
I'm sorry.
No. Okay. All right.
I'm looking for. It'd be weird that I didn't draw Lena Haba Esquire.
You have drawn Tacopina, I know.
Yeah, I've drawn you a lot. So one thing I wanted to talk to you about, the humor in your book is amazing, the way you use words. And I'm a caption writer, as you know, so I get it. Not all words are created equal when it comes to humor. The situation, see, the whole thing about when you saw Donald Trump at the ground floor coming in, it all makes perfect sense to me as a humorist. He walks in the door, you're leaving the door, and you know each other, and he wants your advice.
Yeah, and you buy a present. Wow.
You see a story in your brain, you think this is really fun, and it's going to be fun, and it's going to be a story, and then so you're laughing and joshing and flirting, and that all makes perfect sense to me. He was a different guy back then, as you say in your book. But then when you get to the lingerie department, you're laughing and laughing and laughing, and then he assaults you in the dressing room, and you're still laughing, and that became a big point of contention with the defense. And can you talk about that for a second? Because it's fascinating because I understand it. A lot of people may not understand why you're laughing, but it's all tied into women's bodies, trying to control our bodies and kind of control how we behave. So I'm gonna
right. Well, you're in a way a top flight comedian. Also, you're a cartoonist. New Yorker, New York Times. We don't have, and another comedy writer, Meryl Marco, had the same, she understood it immediately. Women, Trump and MAGA and Takapina had a vision of the perfect victim. The perfect victim always goes to the police no matter what. She's not supposed to think, oh, I could get fired if I report this. She's not supposed to think, how am I going to feed my kids? And she's certainly not supposed to think, well, he's gonna retaliate if I go to the police. No, perfect victim always goes to the police. And Liza, the perfect victim always screams. Always screams. I don't know any woman who's ever told me because there was a big thing on Twitter, a hashtag, I didn't scream either, I didn't scream. Many women do not scream. There's a woman on Twitter who said she was a teenager. She was on a big camp bus. The camp director's wife and his children in the back of the bus, and he raped her in the front seat of the bus. She did not scream. We understand why she did not scream. We understand. It's so what, and of course, I was not aware I wasn't screaming. I was not aware I was laughing. I was aware at the beginning that if I laughed, it would just shut down anything romantic he thought was coming up. Because Liza, I was flirting my brains out. Flirting and laughing. It was a hilarious situation. I told him to put on this lingerie because the color matched his eyes. Now that's a funny line.
That's very funny. The visual of him putting on that teddy or body.
That's what we call them.
Pants, over his pants.
That's it. It's funny. And so I'm sure I laughed at that point to try to get him. No, this is not happening. Lisa Birnbach, the woman I called immediately after, I called her when I got out in front of Bergdorf. She told me, this is not funny, E. When I started to tell her what happened.
What did she advise?
She said I was breathing heavily and laughing a little, and so she tried to calm me down. So even when I tried to tell her what happened, I was laughing. It's a defense.
Right? Yeah, you said it in your book. I wrote them down. I laugh when I'm afraid to be afraid. I laugh to give myself courage. I laugh to turn a guy off. Laughing is a very good weapon to calm a man down. Either it could make a man furious, but you're right. Yeah.
That's what several people pointed out in the press. That may have been the very thing that caused the problem.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
It makes a man angry. Oh yeah, you think this is funny? Well,
right.
But
you got out of there safely and left the building and
I was lucky. Yeah. I think my main feeling was I was just glad I didn't die, or I thought I died. I actually felt like I died, and then got out in the street. Those moments you can never. Well, yeah, we've all had something similar happen. I've been in a. So yeah.
I was on the Metro North the other day, coming into the city, and these two young women were sitting on opposite sides. They're friends, and there was a guy sitting across from one of them, and they were all going to the Yankees game, and the woman was across from the guy. They were probably in their 20s. These people. He was talking at her a lot, and she was trying to be pleasant and nice, but also was trying to make signal to him, I'm not interested. And I watched the whole thing because I was sitting next to him on the left. And then he turned to her friend and did the same thing, but he was trying to hurt them both. And I really felt for her because we've all been in that situation where this is just talking, of course. There's nothing wrong with talking, but you could tell he was more interested in other things too. So eventually somebody got off and she moved to sit across from her friend, and they started talking to each other, just shutting him out completely.
Yeah, good.
These are tactics, and he was fine. He was pleasant. I'm not saying he was aggressive, but they're day-to-day things that we have to deal with.
Day to day.
Of course, except I'm old. I said something about the Yankees, but I don't exist because I'm old. But anyway, we have to deal with these little microaggressions all the time, and then the big aggressions too, unfortunately, for people there.
Yes, that's why I sort of admire Gen Z. They're speaking up. They're reporting their bosses. I'd rather cut off my head than report a boss. I would never have done it.
Yeah,
I would never. I'm the silent generation. You let it happen. You get back to work and you keep your head down. You try to get ahead. It would never. I hate to say it. You didn't report. It was just. It sounds strange. It's just something you didn't do. You know what? If I had told my mother, who was an ardent feminist, I would never have told my parents, by the way, when it happened. She would have minimized it and say, "Oh, Eugene." No, she would never. She was not the kind of mother that said, "Oh, that's terrible. Oh, I'm so sorry." No, she said, Aren't you exaggerating a little? What did you do? Were you egging him on?" That's what she would have done.
Even that's so true. It's really interesting. The generations we have certainly made progress. But feminists now, most of us, and there's still many brands of feminists now.
Yeah,
most of us will say something, I guess. I don't know what I guess I would. I'm sure I would.
well,
I don't
know. There's some bad men on the planet. You may be able to find out one day and call me and let me know. Call me and let me know. Listen, you raise a very interesting thing. We've got to start pissing people off.
Okay.
Let's start pissing people off. We're a little nice. I'm really getting tired. The progressives, come on.
It's funny that you say that, Eugene, because I have found my pissy voice over time. When I was young, I was just I wanted everybody that, and I'm blaming it on culture.
Yeah,
teaching us to be nice, make nice, make.
Yeah, of course.
Happy. And then slowly over time, in my 40s, I started to get a little more. I did more cartoons about rape and sexual assault, and then because the internet also was happening. These are not for the New Yorker, but the internet gave me the freedom to do more of that kind of thing. But it was also a growing up thing, and the culture was changing, and now women can be more free. At least you and I are white privileged women. We can be more free to be pissy and get angry.
Yeah.
And I think it's our duty to do so. So I do that on my Substack now, as you do too.
I know you do. Now, and very few women who are in our age group. The only one I can think of who was blatantly pissy and didn't give two flying motherfuckers how pissy she was Barbara Streisand.
Oh, really?
She got her way. She's wonderful, hilarious, terrific. But if she didn't like a shot, she would ask she'd ask the angle to be changed, or change the camera thing, or do this, do that. And that she spoke up. She learned very early, even on her audition. I mean, she didn't mind pissing people off.
Mm-hmm. And being called, people would call her a diva then, correct?
Diva and difficult. And she didn't care. She did not care. She wanted to get her movies made, get her album. And of course, nobody's bigger than Streisand. I mean, she won the Academy Award for her first movie.
Right. She directed it? Did she direct it too?
No, she just started. I mean, she was so amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, remember that boat scene when she's singing? I mean, she's amazing. But she never, and it worked for her. She got ahead.
Mm-hmm.
She became a director, and she got ahead, and she made 17 albums. It worked. Then we have somebody like Beyonce, who's very sweet, and yet she gets it done too.
Yeah.
Huge formations of dancers. She's the one who directs everything. Very sweet. So there are not many examples of women who are pissy and get ahead. If you and I had been pissy when we were back in our 30s, and we would not you wouldn't be having cartoons in the New Yorker, I don't think.
Probably true. We had
Yeah.
to work the system. We had to work within
Yeah.
the boundaries.
You had to be nice.
Yeah.
You had to be nice. I mean,
Yeah.
really. I can't.
So how are we going to be pissy now, Eugene? What are we going to do? What are you going to do? What are you up to next? What's your next project?
Well, I'm at odds and ends. I want to get your book published, number one. That's going to be on my list. Liza has a book about the 2 trials. Is it about the 2 trials or the first trial?
Only the one. I couldn't come to the second one, unfortunately.
So the first trial. So if you go ahead and just do cartoons about the second trial, so you have both of them, so you can do Trump. Remember, Trump was in the.
Yeah.
That book. I think that book would sell.
Do you
we'll
think?
We'll figure out how to do it.
I actually did go to the trial, the Hush Money trial. I did drawings.
Yes, I saw those.
But that's a different, obviously different.
I wonder. I'm gonna hear some of the beautiful.
Yeah, and here's
Tacopina.
Tacopina. Yeah, you recognize him.
Well, I can see your drawing. That's a famous Tacopina thing. Yeah. The arm.
Just astounded at the sexism. I mean, I don't know what kind of man he is, but the sexism, the old school sexism of their arguments was kind of surprising to me, frankly.
Liza, I don't think that was Tacopina. I think that's Trump telling Tacopina what to say.
Because he did not do the trial, right? He stepped away from the second trial.
He was at the first trial. He was not at the first trial. He was at the second trial. And I know he was sitting right behind me. I could hear everything. He belittled Alina Habba Esquire around the clock. Stand up, stand up. Don't say that. What are you doing? No, it was horrible. Horrible. So I know he's telling Trump. I knew he was telling Tacopina, beat her up, beat her up, beat her up. Don't let her get away with it. Hold her up. Ask her why she didn't scream. Ask her why she didn't scream. Although, if he wasn't there, why did they care if I screamed? If Trump doesn't know who I am and has never met me, why is Tacopina beating me up about not screaming?
That's a really good point.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, they lost the case right there.
Yeah. No, I actually earlier, there's your amazing lawyer.
Oh, there's Robbie.
I met Tacopina. He was on the first trial, but he did not.
Yeah.
He was not a lawyer for Trump on the second trial.
Right.
You don't know why, right?
Now, do you have a picture of Judge Kaplan?
I think I do.
I think you do.
I also wanted to talk to you about really funny part in your book, which is to me also very telling, is leading up to the trial. You're obsessing about your hair as we do,
boy.
And how to cut it, what it looked like, and Robbie's saying, oh, don't worry about it. Just be truthful, tell the truth, you'll be fine. And then there's talk about it. I shouldn't tell the story. You tell the story.
Well, there was a mock trial.
Right.
And it was held in very big, important cases. For instance, where you're suing the president of the United States and you're going to trial, you have something called jury exercises. And that is, they rented a big ballroom in downtown New York, and they chose 27 typical New Yorkers, upstaters, who would naturally be on a jury. And they presented our case to them. Mm-hmm. Presented our case, and we had somebody present Trump's case. We had Matt Craig playing Joe Tacopina, and we had Sean G. Crowley presenting my case, and they showed the jury video from my deposition. And everybody agreed, all 27 jurors agreed, yes, something could happen in a Bergdorf dressing room in 1996. By the way, Liza, you're a New Yorker. You know that went on in Bergdorf dressing rooms.
That's what I hear.
Not unusual. So they agreed, yes. And they also agreed that, yes, something sexual could have happened in a Bergdorf dressing room in 1996. And they agreed that, yes, one of the people in the dressing room was Eugene Carroll, and the other person was Donald Trump. But what they did not agree with is they thought that I was asking for it.
Mm.
Because I was too old, too desiccated, too much of an old, unbelievably ugly crone that he would have assaulted me. He just couldn't have. They couldn't see it. They couldn't see it. Not their fault. They can't see. If they see an old lady, they can't picture the president of the United States at the time. So within 20 minutes of coming out of that mock jury, out of those jury, Robbie Kaplan climbs the stairs and says, "Cut, bob your hair." And the next person up was bob your hair. And the next one is go blonder. So we found the hairdresser, Lisa Corbelli, who did my hair in 1996. I had a talk show and she did my hair every day. She did my makeup that she did in 1996. And you just held up the book. Let me see. Where is that? Have you got look at this. This jacket on the cover. Yeah, there it is. That's from Bergdorf's 1993. That jacket came from the time of the attack. So I wore clothes from 1996.
It's a good jacket, so it's lasted a long time. But
yeah, I would never throw that away, ever. So I had to look something like I looked in 1996. I didn't look exactly because that's impossible. And I'm not going to have, I considered plastic surgery, but I didn't do it. So they could see, yes, she could have looked like the woman who was in the Bergdorf dress.
Well,
yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So that's a good trick. And women around the world know exactly what you and I are talking about.
Mm-hmm. Clothing appearance, we're judged on constantly, whether we like it or not. And I try to ignore it, but I'm of a generation where I have trouble ignoring it because I'm a public person, as you are.
Yes.
Judged immediately, snap judgment. But men don't get that. Nobody talked about what Trump was wearing, what Trump looked like.
Therefore, in my book, I always noted what every single person was wearing. What Takapina wore, what Alina Habba wore, what Trump wore, everybody. What Robbie wore, what Sean G. Crowley wore, every person. Because, yes, as you say, it's always, in a sexual assault case, it's always about the woman's body. And what was on it, and how short it was, and how tight it was, and how it caused the man such a frenzy that he didn't know, but he was lost his mind and he should be let off. So I know.
Yeah. Speaking of bodies, I have another thing to mention to you that I thought was fascinating. The psychologist, I guess that's what she is, Leslie.
Oh,
advised you. I mean, they had her in for both trials, but second trial, which I was not at, she advised you because it was about the damages, how much damage Trump had caused to you and his people, and it was really hard to read those and hear you read them. Those horrible emails and texts and chats and whatever that people were sending you, and then in the mock trial, I guess they were asking you, tell us how they made you feel, and Leslie Leibowitz said, go to the body.
Yeah,
which I thought was a fascinating. Can you talk about that for a minute? What she meant by that?
Well, Dr. Leslie Leibowitz is probably the country's one of the leading trauma specialists in the country. Robbie hired her because each team, Trump and our team, had hired, psychiatrists to find out if I'm a liar or not, and what happened, and if I was harmed. So Dr. Leslie Leibowitz spent 3 days talking to me, and I had never been in therapy. This was a whole new experience for me. So after 3 days, so I got to know Dr. Leslie Leibowitz. She created the protocol for the United States Air Force. She created the sexual assault protocol for the United States Veterans Administration. She had her rape Duke study. She had her Harvard Duke study, rape studies. This woman is at the top of the country when it comes to trauma from sexual assault. So she knew what I was experiencing when they would when Robbie would put a death threat up on the screen for me to tell the jury how I felt. I would lose language because all I could do was look at it and think it was going to happen, and I would duck. It's when you see a death threat on a screen about you, your natural instinct is to think, Jesus, is to, get the hell out of the room. So we were, the case was in jeopardy because I lost my language. And so Robbie sends me back to my hotel room with 5 bags of popcorn and a falafel and I think a pink lady apple and something to do, edamame of some sort. She sends it back and she says, go talk to Dr. Leslie Leibowitz. So Dr. Leslie Leibowitz, too smart. She doesn't say, tell me about the death threats. She knows better than to say that. We talk about a dream I had and she loved the dream. And then she said, have you got one of those, those things handy? Could you read it to me? I mean, so of course I'm reading her the death threat before I even know what I'm doing. And then she just says, well, you can't talk because you don't have any air in your lungs. You can't think because you have no blood going through it. And then she said, just tell the jury what's going on in your body. Just tell the jury. Just say, my eyes are blurred. I can't see it. So that's what I did. I just said, I lost my breath. I can't breathe. So that solved the problem.
Well, it's just genius on her part, I think. And to me, it points to, again, how these death threats mostly from men, but how men are just trying to shut us down.
She said when the man has the gun in your mouth, Eugene, you're picturing the gun going off. That's why you can't talk. So she solved it. I was just picturing the threat. When he's raping you anally, Eugene, you're picturing how that feels in your anus. That's why you can't talk. No woman could talk, and we can't help. You're picturing it right now, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah.
And so that shuts us up. That makes us. Anyway, that was something else I wanted to talk to you about. It's about our bodies. It's always about our bodies controlling our movements and our speech, and our behavior. So. Couple more things, just what are you going to do? Or I've read about this, but I want you to tell the viewers what are you doing with that? What is it, $80 million that Trump is supposed to give you?
Well, it's with interest, it'll be over $100 million.
Good.
So I'm going to give it to everything Trump hates, and I got to say, it is changing hour to hour, mainly to get women's rights back because they have just.
Fantastic.
Our sisters in the southern states have no rights. I mean, now they're going to take away voting rights. So So that's mainly where it's going to go. But then we have immigrants, we have the shutting down the cities, and we have the USAID, and I have to really, Planned Parenthood. There are some. I will give it to organizations who actually spend the money on changing the way the world. So women's rights, women's reproductive rights, and then we'll see what it's needed.
Great. That's wonderful. And at the end of the book, when you're asked, I don't know who asked you this, you're asked, what are you going to do now, Eugene?
Yeah.
You didn't say you're going to Disneyland. You said, I'm going to go home and throw the ball for my dog. Which, and I did a cartoon about that this morning, which you'll see on my sub. Not about
I
you.
Can't wait.
Yeah, a dog. I've done many throwing dog throwing ball dog cartoons, but this inspired me to do something.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
Great.
I love it.
Great. Throwing the ball for the dog and getting the dog another dog.
And I got that dog. Where is she? Is she laying here? Hey, Sham. Miss Havisham. Miss Havisham, wake up. Aunt Lisa's on the phone. Come here. Come here. Sham. Come here. Come on over here. Come on. Look at her. Havisham. Come on. Hey, Miss Havisham.
Let me sleep.
Ah.
Oh, I love it. So this has been fantastic, Eugene. I want you to advise me on clothing when we meet next time. I need clothing advice. I need fashion advice. So please.
Really? I thought you looked really cute the night we met.
Thank you. Well,
yeah.
I love what you said about clothes. I mean, I have never been a clothes horse, but I do like clothes. I've been trying to embrace it more.
Well, you know what I'm into now? Flight suits. I'm wearing flight suits. If Donald Trump could put
a jumpsuit, what is a flight suit? It's a jumpsuit.
A flight suit is what I'm wearing. A mechanic's overalls now, which I strongly suggest. They're fun. $48 on Amazon. I have them in all colors, but I've been wearing flight suits, which are because if Donald Trump can put tanks on the streets, you and I can put flight suits on our bodies because we're in a battle. We're in a war. And I like to be dressed for battle. So you get them on, they're actually from, NASA and the U.S. Air Force and the Navy and the Army. They're actual flight suits that test pilots and pilots wore. I have them from the Korean War. I have them from Vietnam. I have them from, they're great and they're great looking. You never have to carry a purse. Everything in the pockets is fabulous.
As soon as we hang up, I'm going to go look them up.
This is great.
I never heard of that.
We're going to have to get together. We're going to have to get together.
Yes. Let's plan it this fall. So thank you very much, Eugene. Thank you so much. This has been really fun. And you're an inspiration. I feel like you're, I mean, not just what you did, but being an older woman and not just sitting back when you're 75. Yeah. This is my way of operating, but you're encouraging me to be like that. Like,
well, you are like that, Liza. Come on, let's go piss people off. Come on, let's go piss people off.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's piss
Thank
people
you so much.
off. I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.
Adios. Now don't hang up because I know you have to upload.
Yeah, keep it open for a while. I'm going to end the stream and just keep your window open for